Hey, thanks for watching Debate Vlog. Before I start out, I just want to point out to everyone that wants to join the debate, through video response we accept all submissions, and if they are of a high enough quality, we'll even post them ourselves on the channel so that they can be viewed in sequence with the rest of the channel's members. And the motion, as you can tell, is that affirmative action is never okay. And to put this in a bit of context, there's a case right now before the Supreme Court where the New York City Fire Bureau issued a test. It wasn't an old test, they had used it for a few years back. But in this particular issue of the test, all of the black applicants failed, leaving the pool of people that were accepted or passed the test 100% white. Now, instead of accepting these results, the New York City Fire Bureau threw out the entire test, retooling it, and then asking the black applicants that failed and the white applicants that passed to retake it again and not, on that basis, be promoted. Now, the New York City firefighters that were white went on to sue, alleging that they were discriminated against on the basis of their race. And this is an interesting contextual case because it shows that whereas in the 1960s black applicants could complain that they were explicitly being denied positions on the basis of their race, in this instance the situation is 100% reversed, where white applicants are denied even after passing a test, and the test is thrown out completely. Now, just to clarify, by affirmative action, I'm not talking about a situation where, in education for example, two college applicants with very similar SAT and GPA scores, one being black and one being white, the black one selected over the white person. That I don't consider that affirmative action. That seems more like racial quotas, which is a separate debate. Affirmative action is, in this debate at least, being defined as a situation where one student of significantly lower scores is taken over one student with significantly higher scores solely on the basis of their race, gender, ethnicity, etc. So why is affirmative action wrong even all the way back in the 1960s when the standard of education and the standard of income was so iniquitous between whites and blacks and women and men? It is wrong for the very same reasons that it is wrong today, which is that through the promotion of individuals, society attempts to promote a group. And these two things are not, and especially not in this case, compatible. If we have a group that is disadvantaged in society, the solution is to better the education system, to better or make more equal the income that's distributed throughout society, to better housing projects, to better public works systems, to level the playing field in terms of creating laws that establish universal civil liberties. But if you have a system that artificially promotes individuals randomly from one group into a majority privileged system, what you will have is not the betterment of that group, but only advantage offered to certain members of that group, which ultimately leaves the minority that you're attempting to aid still lagging behind because of the neglect that's paid to other more pressing and ultimately more helpful issues. Secondly, by having a system that addresses the larger issues of education and income inequality, you also have a system that's not based on race, and so that white applicants that are of the lower income communities and just as deserving or needy of assistance into college systems or job pools will be given equal chance at that as well, so that there's no lingering sense, as we sort of have today, of overprivileged or high-income black candidates still being given advantage in the application system over and above white candidates who come from underprivileged backgrounds but still try just as hard, which is ultimately the reason affirmative action was created in the first place, not to rectify racial inequalities, but to rectify socioeconomic inequalities. And finally, the very obvious reason is that in a system that is affirmative action or colorblind, you have a pure meritocracy, which is that on a standardized test, candidates are accepted on the basis of merit, which means ultimately the classrooms will be filled with top-notch individuals. And I'll leave it there for now. Hope to see you debate.